Fair use. Black Male Advice TV. We in the building. Let's go.
Rainbow TV.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Black Male Advice TV. We are back with another live stream, continuing on with our coverage of Bishop Lamar Whitehead being sued by former parishioner. Oh yeah. Top of the morning, Black Male Advice TV. Make sure you get those likes up on the video. It is what it is. Oh yeah. You know, I was kind of inspired, so I made a little tune specifically for this special occasion. So let's take a listen to this, fam.
Oh yeah.
Make sure you get those likes up on the video. Very important.
Money.
Black Male Advice TV.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
Oh yeah. Money. Money in my pocket.
Let's go.
Lights on now. Yeah. Money. Making money. Niggas be looking at me. Rolling on the block. Man, I'm getting paper. Rolling. Looking at me, I'm looking so fly. All of these niggas, they looking at me, man, wishing to die. Chilling in my car, man, I'm getting paper. All of these bitches out here, man, they want this nigga. Figure, rolling. Niggas be holding out. Don't wanna give a nigga his flowers. I'm a boss. See me flexing on the road. Window down, top down, shades on, blinged out, ringed out.
Get those likes up, fam. Let's go. Let's go.
Nigga looking fly. How could you hate on a nigga that be doing well? Mad niggas, they up in jail. Niggas mad because I'm doing well. All time and I'm smelling good. Niggas out here up in the hood. All day I'm popping. Bodies, they dropping. BK, I'm rapping. Niggas out here half stepping. Niggas talking, they bitching up. Money. Online, they trolling. Lights on, drip where people stare.
Let's go.
Everywhere. Yeah, I'm rolling in the top. Chilling in the drop. Making money, man, I'm doing this non-stop. Rolling, hot, and I'm top now. BK, I'm rapping. Niggas out here half stepping.
Yeah.
Speeding through the night. Yeah, window fly. Roll the window down. Make the music play. Hey. Rolling through the hood with the top down. Making money, making that sound pop. Oh, where the ladies at?
Where they at?
Where the ladies at? Where are the ladies at? Going up and I be flipping in. Came out and I be ripping in. Ripping down that top down. Rolling with my windows down. Spinning rim, rolling out. Lights on, money here. Looking fly, dressing up. Shades on, looking good. Rolling.
Okay, all right. We in the building, y'all. Black Male Advice TV. You already done know what it is, fam. We are in the building. I hope you enjoyed that. Top of the morning, we are dealing with the subject matter of Bishop Lamar White is being sued by former parishioner from the church. Yeah. It looks like your good old pastor is being sued because somehow he didn't follow through with a deal went wrong. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this because, you know, there's a lot of things I want to talk about here because the other video that I made, it seems to be going viral at this point. A lot of people are really feeling that video, and everybody's saying the same thing, that they believe that this is an inside job, that there's a possibility that there's some fraud that took place, allegedly. This guy is very interesting, man. I learned some things in my little investigation that really raised my eyebrows. And shout out to everybody joining in the show. Let's see what we got in the building. Gerardo, Sean the Navigator. Who's this? Ferocious. Fitness Information. Tavares. What's going on? So, again, if you're joining in the show, make sure you get the likes up on the video. Make sure that the likes match the views so that we don't have to stop the show to continue to preach about likes and so forth. Let me see. Shafar, what's going on? Miss Parker, V-Dub Man in the building. All right. So, we all know the story that this particular pastor, preacher, bishop, whatever the case is, was allegedly robbed. We'll say allegedly robbed because I personally don't believe that it was an actual robbery. If it was, it is what it is. But the blueprint is not matching up. It appears to be an inside job, allegedly. And, I'm now hearing new word that it wasn't $400K worth of jewels. It was over $1 million worth of jewels, which actually make it seem more of an inside job now, because when you think about it, if it's $1 million that was stolen, this guy had to have insurance. Nobody walks around with $1 million of jewelry. And then again, why would you come to church in the hood, right, with $1 million worth of jewelry, and then you want to complain about you got robbed? Does that make any sense? What rich man walks outside with $1 million? It's like, why do black people always do this? You don't see no other ethnic group of people walking around with $1 million worth of jewelry on to go to church to preach. In the hood where everybody is starving. Keep that in mind. Everybody in the hood is starving. People hungry, struggling. We all been there, still going through it, But who does that? I mean, just look at the pastor right there. Flexing in his car. But see, I'm hearing some stories, fam, that is very, very shocking. We're going to cover all these different things. I'm hearing from the grapevine, because I'm now learning about who this bishop is, just like most of you probably are. Some of you probably already know who he is. I'm learning about this guy, and you already don't know. I've been exposing these false teachers since 2006. So I take great pleasure in exposing these demons, these charlatans, these wolves in sheep's clothing that walk around flexing and doing all this other stuff while in the hood amongst poor people. Now, don't get me wrong, fam. There's nothing wrong if you got bread, right? At the same time, there's a certain level of responsibility that must come with that. I'm not going to go to the hood where everybody's suffering and starving and struggling and be wearing Versace every day and Gucci every day. I'm not going to be doing that. You know why? Because I'm making these people feel bad when I do that. That's why I despise and can't stand the prosperity gospel, because it's from hell. You understand? It's not good. It's not healthy. These particular pastors and preachers, they're not helping the community. With all the money that he had wrapped around his neck, that $1 million could have went towards the hood to do a lot of different things for the people. But these churches are not there to teach you folks about God. It's a business. Ministry is big business. And the majority of pastors that are out here are criminals. If you look at their history, the majority of them have a background of being hustlers, gangsters, committing fraud, all sorts of crimes. And in order to come back out in the world, they become a pastor. They always do that. Why? Because it's sort of like the pimp game. Rather than being a pimp with women, you could pimp women in church. You can make the women in the church pay you tithes and offerings, make the women worship you. And that is what's happening in today's day when you look at the majority of these pulpit pimps. They all had a crazy past. But now what we're going to go into is the news brief where they're talking about this bishop is being sued by someone. Now, I don't know if the robbery attempt had something to do with a bad business deal or something that may have went wrong. Again, my original position on this is that this bishop need the money. And he's so used to committing crimes of fraud because basically, if you look up his history, he was literally in trouble for something similar. So it's like, it would make sense. It would make perfect sense. And a lot of these people use these PPP loans and doing all sorts of scams to get property and different things. But word on the street is that this guy's a dirty guy, fam. So let's take a listen to this news report. We're going to take a listen to this and find out exactly what's going on. Let me put the volume up on this because I had turned it down a little earlier. So we're going to listen to this real quick. And then I want to show you a couple of things. I'm going to read an article from the New York Post. And hopefully we could gain more insight on the fact that this guy is being sued and look like he did someone dirty out of $90K. And that wouldn't be okay with none of you if that happened to you. So let's take a look at this news clip real quick, see what's going on. Let me set this up. Let's go.
Right now at 5:30, more trouble for a Brooklyn bishop robbed during a Sunday service while it was streamed online. He is now being sued by a former parishioner. Welcome back. I'm Christine Johnson.
And I'm Dick Brennan. The bishop robbed at gunpoint last Sunday says there's been too much focus on his lifestyle and not enough on the crime that happened inside his church.
As CBS 2's Andrea Grimes reports, it comes amid a lawsuit filed against him.
Wow.
And he must have knew something about a robbery. Are you kidding me? Let my church give us some sympathy.
Notice what he want, fam. He want your sympathy. You gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding, fam. You mean to tell me that as a pastor of a church in the hood, a man of the cloth, you're telling me that you want us to feel some sort of emotional feelings for what happened to you when you are in a church house with over $1 million worth of jewelry, when the location that you are pastoring is in the hood and it's literally trash. Listen, fam, when I tell you that this guy is dirty, let me see if I can pull this up real quick because I wasn't going to go that far and do that, but I'm going to see if I could pull this up real quick. I gotta pull this up, fam. It's really getting on my nerves, fam. Let me see if I could do this real quick. Check this out. You see that? That's the location of the church. You see that? You see that building in the middle of the screen? That small box of a building. That is the church, fam. Oh, it gets worse, fam. You might think that it don't get no worse than that, but I got receipts, fam. This is an overviewed location of the street. Let me see. If you look in the middle of the screen, you'll see the red little spot. That's the middle building, fam. So this is right in the hood, in the ghetto, the slums, right? Out in Canarsie, right? You know, this is where the pastor, the bishop decides he's going to set up his business because, you know, church is a business. Right? So now, in my investigations, right, I realized that there's something very, very bad about this. Because if you notice, right next to his church is another church right next door. You see how that goes? right next to his church is another church right next door. You see that? This is big business, fam. When you have a church right next to another church, this ain't about God. This is about these false prophets profiting off of the poverty of the community. That's what this is about. Yeah. Oh, it gets really bad. You see that small little building that he have there? You know he's just renting it, right? You do know that, right? He's just renting that space. It ain't costing him anything. But guess where the wonderful bishop is living? Yeah, that's where he's living. Oh yeah, I did my research. The good old bishop have a $4-point-something million mansion. Oh yeah. Isn't it wonderful? Beautiful property. Oh yeah. I would love to live there. Out in New Jersey, fam. Yeah. Now, think about this, fam. His residence is in New Jersey. Property, $4-point-something million. But think about this, fam. $4 million. But the place that he called the Church of God is in that little box. Let it make sense. Let it make sense, people. Please let it make sense. You see that? Again, I don't think you're getting this. This is where the pastor rests his head at after he drives home in his Rolls Royce. Right? He rides home in his, and he don't just have one car, you know. I'm gonna have to gather all that information in another show. I'm gonna have to do another one, fam, because this guy's a heavy roller, man. This guy's a heavy, so he have a $4 million mansion. And this is just one side of the property, fam. We're talking about this guy have an entire area. I'm talking about, yo, this dude is literally ripping off the people, scamming people allegedly, because, you know, we have to say allegedly, right? And the front is he's a bishop. So this guy is involved in other things besides just the ministry. But to think that you would have a property that you own $4-point-something million, but yet the place you call church is this dump right here. You know that place is full of rats. You know there's roaches everywhere. It's in the middle of the hood. There's nothing good there. It's like, why don't he just build a large facility, a place that is of value? Because he's not a real bishop. He's not a real pastor. A real bishop, a real pastor would build a real property. You see that? So, again, make sure you get the likes up on the video, fam. We got 89 in the building. We got 47 likes. Let's get it to about 60 likes to keep the engagement up. You know what I mean? It's very important for the algorithm. It gets more people into the stream. Early morning edition. So if you're joining in the show, we're talking about the bishop that got robbed at gunpoint in his church while streaming live. It's interesting that it was being streamed live. It's almost as if though it was all planned, because let's stream live, let's get it on tape, so that when we go to the insurance company, they can give us what we need on our claim. How convenient, because, you know, if it's not on tape, right, it's going to be very difficult to pretty much go. First of all, the insurance company is going to investigate all of this. Those people are not dumb. They don't play, fam. Insurance companies don't play. And a lot of you folks that like to do these games, y'all going to go to prison, bruh. Insurance companies have all the top people that really do thorough investigation to find out the ins and outs of everything. And when they put it all together and it feels like there's some fraud involved and they start doing the timestamp of events and everything, they'll gather the info and they're going to get people to talk. You know what I mean? And then you're going to go to jail for fraud and other crimes. Because to stage something like that and then the news media go out there and now you're upset because they're focusing on your jewelry, you can't get upset with that. Look at this dump that he called a church. It's a rent. He's renting this spot, fam. Look at a window on the top that's boarded up. You see this place? It's boarded up. How is that? So hold up. Is this like a secret hideout church? Because I would never think that there is a church in that building. It's like it's a front. But to have church there, right? To have church there, but yet the pastor is living here. That's crazy, fam, if you really think about it. That's crazy. This is why you can't trust these pulpit pimping preachers. You ever notice that all of these pastors and preachers, they all live in mansions, every last one of them. Right? But when you read the Bible, the disciples weren't living in no mansion. They weren't. No. The Messiah talk about in my Father's house are many mansions. In other words, when you get there to the kingdom, then you'll have your mansion. These pastors are trying to get their mansion on earth. That's what they're trying to do. Now, I find it very, very shocking that all of these pastors and bishops all are millionaires while the congregation is broke and poor. Can hardly pay their bills, can hardly pay their rent, struggling to pay for their food, insurance, medical insurance, dental. You know how many families out here are struggling every day to get by? Could barely eat. There's a lot of families out here that got to decide, do we pay our cable bill this month or do we pay our light bill? But yet this pastor is living in a multi-million-dollar mansion. You see that? Now again, listen to me very carefully, fam, because I'm not a hater. If a man worked with his hands and he's successful, he have a right to live his life and buy the things that pretty much afford him. At the same time, it just doesn't feel right to enjoy the benefits of all these luxuries, but yet your church is looking sorry. This right here speaks volumes that he's really not invested in the kingdom of God. He's not. Why his $4 million mansion looks so great, but when you look at this, it looks like trash. But yet he's inside of the building with $1 million worth of jewelry. So his jewelry values more than the building he's having church in. Let it make sense, people. Let it make sense. Listen, again, to all the feds that are watching my video, because I know you guys are watching my video. Because somehow the first video I put out, that video just went viral. It's just going up. I don't know what's going on, but that video is just getting numbers. So I know a lot of people are watching that video. So the feds is watching. I hope the insurance companies are watching. Y'all really need to investigate this pastor because something is wrong. Something doesn't feel right over here, fam. Something definitely don't feel right. I mean, look at him right there on the side. Look at him on the side, fam. Flexing. And that's Brooklyn. I could tell that he's right in Brooklyn right now. I know that background right there. He's in Brooklyn, right? So he's riding around, most likely another luxury car, flexing with the cross, which is an idol, by the way. Pagan symbols. You know what I mean? Gucci'd out. You see what I mean? Rings, designer. But this is supposed to be a bishop teaching the word of God? You really want me to believe that? You really want me to believe that this guy's from heaven? No, he's not. He's just a pimp. Just another pimp trying to get paid. And again, if he's earning money a legal way, it is what it is. I don't got no problem with that. But don't stage no robbery and then want to get the sympathy of people. Don't do that. Because I'm not going to feel sorry for somebody that's wearing $1 million in a building that's dusty. I'm not going to feel sorry for you, you know? And then why is it that you're not wearing all of that jewelry when you're talking to the news media? Why he's not doing that? Let's go back to that news report, find out what they had to say.
Bishop Lamar Whitehead fiercely defending himself at a press conference today.
And notice that. Notice where he's standing at, right? Notice where he's standing at. Let's take a look at that pic, right? He's standing right next to that other church. You see the sign? I'm not sure if you could see it, but you can see the same little poster on the other church. That's where they're doing a little news conference right there. So let me see, if I click off this, you should be able to see the difference. You click that off, you see that right there? So they're standing right next to that building right there. That's where they're standing at. That's why they blurred out the face, because they didn't want to put the other pastor in the business. You see what I mean? They didn't want to give him no play or anything like that. But anyway, let's go back into the news story and find out what they had to say. Let's go.
Speaking just steps away from his Canarsie church that became a crime scene last weekend.
Yo. All right.
Police say 3 armed suspects caught on video robbed the bishop and his wife during last Sunday's service of $1 million worth of jewelry. Whitehead says instead of focusing on the terrifying crime and search for suspects, he believes the media has wrongly focused on his criminal history and what some describe as his lavish lifestyle.
Why is Fendi, Louis, and Gucci, why can't we wear that in the church?
What? Why can't we wear that in the church? What? So hold up. You didn't hear what this guy said? He said, why can't we wear Fendi? Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe he's wearing Fendi. Well, I know that's Gucci. That the shirt he's wearing, that got to be Gucci. That's their colors. But why is he worried about wearing Fendi and Gucci in the church? Is this what the gospel is all about? This is crazy, fam. Let me see if I can rewind that back, because this is crazy, fam.
Why is Fendi, Louis, and Gucci, why can't we wear that in the church? I'm not on a salary with my church. It's about having multiple streams of income.
He said he's not on a salary with his church. It's about having multiple streams of income. We're not here to talk about if you have a salary from your church. What we're focused on, Bishop, is the fact that this appears to be an inside job. I believe it is, allegedly. You know? Yeah, he definitely exposed himself right there. You know what I'm saying? Definitely exposed himself, fam. This is allegedly an inside job. You don't wear $1 million worth of jewelry in the hood in the ghetto in a rundown, dusty cave church that you call church. I don't see how you call that church and then you drive home to your multi-million-dollar mansion. I don't understand that. How do you even sleep at night? How do you sleep at night, sir? How do you sleep at night knowing that your church building is in the ghetto, right? It looks dusty and tore up with rats and roaches, but yet you get to drive home to New Jersey in your nice community with your multi-million-dollar house and wife. Really? But you want somebody to feel sorry for you when you don't got the problems that they have? Please. You tripping, bro.
That's it.
Whitehead says he was previously convicted wrongfully of grand larceny and scheme to defraud.
Grand larceny and scheme to defraud. Interesting. Sounds like this could be a similar case. Interesting, fam.
He also addressed a lawsuit filed against him last September by a church member. The suit alleges Whitehead promised, quote, in exchange for $90,000, he would assist plaintiff in purchasing and renovating a house. Instead, court documents allege Whitehead took the money and used it to help buy a $4.4 million home for himself.
What? You see what we got here, fam? Look at the property from the aerial view. I'm gonna have to do my Google search after this show and go find the property, fam. So let me get this straight. This is how the bishop is living, fam. Check out the mega mansion, fam. Check it out. Check out the property. I'm sure all of you would love to have a place like this. I mean, if you had it like that, of course, but this guy right here seems to be running some sort of scheme because someone appeared to have given this guy $90,000 to do some sort of deal to help them get some sort of property and renovation and stuff like that. And it seemed like this guy took the money, allegedly, right, and went and put that down to go get that property that you see right there. And he's supposed to be the bishop, the man of the cloth. Supposed to serve the people, but he was serving himself. Look at that property, fam. Shoot, if I was living there, fam, I wouldn't even go outside. I would have no need to go outside. I would just stay home for the rest of my life. I'm serious, fam. I would have, listen, if that was my property right there, fam, and I'm doing YouTube, bruh, I would have a reality show. I would have studio A, B, C, and D, fam. It'll be crazy. I would have all different sorts of backdrops to do all sorts of videos and commentary, fam. It'll be crazy. But this is what pastors are doing in America. They take the money from the flock and then they go out there and live their best life while the congregation live in the hood. Yeah, that's what they do.
In Saddle River, New Jersey.
Wow.
I can't get into the legality of this fictitious claim against me.
Why you can't get into the claim? Why? How you gonna call it fictitious? Why would somebody make a claim against you? It appears that you allegedly robbed somebody's bread. You know? And I could tell that dude that got the camera is working with you because he got a chain around his neck. So you most likely bought him a chain. And then I see somebody wearing Fendi. It's like you could just spot who his people are. All of them right there in that scene is working with him, fam. Trust and believe. Definitely.
Whitehead has talked about his relationship with Mayor Adams, describing him.
Uh-oh, so he's down with the man. Oh, boy. Seems like the rabbit hole goes deep. Could it possibly be, I'm just speculating at this point, could it possibly be that the bishop may have been, I guess, financially supporting the so-called mayor in terms of helping him to get into office? You know, there's a lot of things that go down, fam. Oh, yeah. When I tell you that there's a lot of corruption out here, fam, there's a lot of corruption. When you see certain people in photo ops with different people, man, you got to really, really understand that the rabbit hole goes deep. Somebody's in somebody's pockets, fam. Somebody's in somebody's pockets. They're being funded and protected. There's something going on. There's a bigger picture behind all of this, fam. I don't know what's happening, but by the pure fact that he's side by side with this guy, you know he's dirty. I don't trust none of them, fam. Real talk.
As a mentor and friend.
You know why I don't trust that man, bro? You know why I don't trust him? Because this is the same clown, right? And he is a clown. He's the same clown who made some rule. And y'all know about the pointy thing and all the potion juice nonsense that they had out here. This guy made it clear that NBA players that do sports and all of that other stuff, they don't got to get the pointy thing or the potion juice. They can go to work and do what they got to do to keep their livelihood and whatnot in New York. But everybody else, oh no, you got to go get the pointy thing. Now, let's make sense of that. So if you're in the NBA or NFL or some sort of sports, you are free to go back to work without no pointy thing, without no potion juice. You're able to go do what you got to do. But anyone else that work at the 9 to 5, they're subject to being forced to do something against their will. Let that make sense. You tell me. You tell me if that's a good mayor. He's horrible. I'm just keeping it 1,000 with you. Horrible. That's how I know that they're all dirty, fam. Let's go.
Today, the mayor weighed in.
Lamar and any other individual that I support, I continue to try to mentor. As a black man, I have an obligation to mentor other black men.
You have what? An obligation to mentor other black men? What about white men? What about Asian men? Your mentor. So hold up. You mentoring this guy? You're his mentor? Fam, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. You see that? You see how this thing is going, fam? When I tell you this place is dirty, it's dirty, fam. New York is dirty, fam. I'm letting you know straight up and down, fam.
Had negative encounters in their lives and other people in general.
An attorney for the plaintiff in that lawsuit had no comment. Meantime, Whitehead is calling on the 3 suspects in the robbery to turn themselves in.
Why would they turn themselves in? Why would they turn themselves in when they got $1 million worth of jewelry? Why would they do that? They're not turning themselves in. Why would they do that? They paid. They got it good now. But see, I know based on my intuition that this feels like an inside job. You know what I mean? These Brooklyn streets are grimy and dirty, shady. A lot of scams and schemes, man. People lining people up every day. Can't really trust nobody out here, fam. Like real talk. You can't really trust nobody. The hood is no respect of persons. All of these business people, pastors and preachers, politicians, all of them are dirty, bruh. All of them. When I say all of them, there's none good here, bruh. You got to understand that. They all out like a bunch of sharks trying to get paid. That's what it's all about.
In Canarsie, Brooklyn, Andrea Grimes, CBS 2 News.
So this is pretty much what's going down, fam. So what I want to do is I want to read a news clip, a news story, I should say. I want to read a news story and hopefully get some more information out of this thing. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can cue this up. I'm not going to put it on the screen because it's just too much stuff. I'm just going to read it. This is from the New York Post, the NewYorkPost.com. They have an article that was published, on July 28th, 2022. It says flashy New York bishop who was robbed of $1 million in jewelry allegedly stole $90K from congregant. $90K, fam. That's crazy. So that means somebody probably gave them their retirement, probably, their pension money, and they trust it because they probably figure, well, the good old bishop got connections. He could somehow pull some strings and help them get on their feet. But that's not the case here. So let me go back into the story. Let me read this. It says, the flashy Brooklyn pastor who was robbed of more than $1 million in jewelry during a live stream church service was accused of stealing $90,000 from a congregant in a lawsuit filed last year. Bishop Lamar Whitehead, who is known for flaunting his Gucci suits, diamond-encrusted chains, and stable of luxury vehicles, allegedly has a history of grifting and even served time in prison for identity theft and grand larceny. Wow. So this guy got dirty hands. It goes on and it says, Pauline Anderson, 56, accused the Rolls-Royce driving clergyman of convincing her to liquidate her life savings, and pay him a $90,000 investment in November 2020 with the promise that he would buy and renovate a home for her, according to her Brooklyn Supreme Court lawsuit. Man, this guy did this to a lady, fam. She's 56, most likely retired, trying to get a home renovated, you know what I mean? To just kind of live out her life and just, probably trusted this guy. This is crazy. He did this to a woman, fam. A woman, right? So now it goes on and it says, Whitehead also agreed to pay Anderson $100 per month since the savings was her only source of income. Wow, says the suit, first reported by the city on Thursday. So basically, Whitehead also agreed to pay Anderson $100 per month. So this guy that owns a 4-point-something million property is basically agreed to pay Miss Anderson $100 per month since the savings was her only source of income. So the good pastor now is giving this woman $100 a month. Yo, that's sad, fam. That's sad. Who lives off of $100 a month? Who does that? That's crazy. It goes on and it says Whitehead, 44, allegedly only made one of the $100 payments to Miss Anderson. Yo, this is crazy, fam. The guy that's driving around the Rolls Royce, the Bentleys and all the flashy clothes, Gucci, right? He only paid this woman one payment of $100, right? To Miss Anderson in January 2021. And each time she asked about the status of her home in the following months, he repeatedly told her that he was tied up with his election campaign for Brooklyn Borough President, according to the lawsuit. So see, this guy is in the pockets with other people in high places. You see that? You see what's going on? Oh yeah. This is what these guys be doing, fam. This is what they be doing. It says, ultimately, instead of helping Anderson find a home, Whitehead used the funds as down payment on the contract to purchase a $4.4 million home for himself in Saddle River, New Jersey, the suit alleges. Wow. This is crazy, fam. This is crazy. And this guy, he be just out in the hood, just doing whatever he do. And he be out here just flexing. I'm going to see if I could post this picture here. I'm going to kind of just, I'll post it in a few. I'm just taking a picture of it to see how this guy move so that y'all can see what's happening out here. The article goes on. Let me see. It goes on. It says Anderson, who was introduced to Whitehead through her son, Rashad Anderson, in 2020, only found out about the Saddle River home after Whitehead accidentally sent an email to Rashad about the purchase, the lawsuit says. So he accidentally made a mistake. And that's how the son pretty much found out about the property of the $4.4 million estate. So all of that was kept under wraps. Nobody knew about it. So if anybody saw this pastor in the street, they would assume maybe he just lived, in a humble, environment, not nothing too prestigious, So it goes on and it says, Anderson said she was told she couldn't get a mortgage because of her bad credit, which is when Whitehead stepped in with his offer to help, the lawsuit alleges. See, this clearly is fraud, allegedly, because a lot of times when people have bad credit, they're desperate to get a home. They want to get that loan. They want to get what they need, and their credit is stopping them from going forward. So they reach out to other people for help. And a lot of times these scam artists be out here, and being that the lady's, she's 56, she probably don't know any better. She trusted him because, remember, he's the man of God. He's the man of the cloth. But instead, he helps himself to buy himself a mansion with her money. Oh, yeah. Right? The article goes on and it says, despite having reservations about handing over the hefty sum to Whitehead, Anderson went through with it because he was a supposed man of the cloth and had previously helped her own son secure housing for himself, the suit claims. So basically, the woman didn't really hesitate when it came to giving him the money because the bishop previously helped the son to get something as well. So I guess trust was established. Listen, every con artist and crook and scam artist will do certain things to gain your trust at first. You got to peep the game. A scammer will do things to gain your trust, and then they'll go in for the kill. You got to always recognize that. It goes on and says, Miss Anderson was instead left with nothing but a vague promise by Mr. Whitehead to pay the funds back in the future, followed by an assertion that he had no further obligations to do so, the filing charges. Wow. This is crazy, fam. This is really, really crazy. It says Anderson is seeking $1 million in damages for Whitehead's morally reprehensible acts and for losing her entire life savings, the filing claims pretty much says. This is wild, fam. This is wild. This is crazy, fam. Let me see what else this thing says. It says Whitehead has not filed any papers in the court, nor has any lawyers appeared on his behalf. Court records show the flamboyant pastor has had ties to Mayor Eric Adams since at least 2013, and last made headlines in May when he tried to negotiate the surrender of an accused subway shooter and claimed to have spoken with Hezaner while the suspect was on the loose. On Sunday, Whitehead was accosted during service at his Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries in Canarsie by 3 gun-wielding men who made off with a treasure trove of items, including a $75,000 Rolex watch. So this guy was wearing a $75,000 watch, a Rolex. Wow. He later defended his lifestyle, saying that his public displays of wealth didn't lead to the gunpoint robbery. As critics suggested, his blinged out look could have made him an outsized target. So this is, man, I tell you, this guy is like delusional. Whitehead did not immediately return a message left at the congregation Thursday. Anderson's lawyer declined to comment since the lawsuit is still pending. Yep. So that is what's going on right there, fam. So again, if you're joining in the show, make sure you get the likes up on the video. We have 175 in the building and only 83 likes. That's not good. We got to learn to support the streams, fam. Like seriously, all you got to do is click the like button. So everybody that's viewing, go on your phone, click the like button. Very easy to do. It takes you 5 seconds to do. You see the little button with the thumbs up? Click that button. That's all you got to do. If you're not supporting the streams financially via Cash App, the least you can do is hit the Cash App. Well, yeah, you could do that too anyway. I said hit the Cash App. You can hit the like button. If you can't support financially, because I'm working, just hit the like button. When you hit the like button, it helps the video go through the algorithm. It makes the system recognize that, I'm live. And what it does, it sends out the notifications. And before YouTube starts to promote the video, and then you have a crowd of people viewing, and then everybody can learn the lessons that we're sharing here with this updated story with this particular bishop. So if you're joining in the show, you may have missed a few things. A little recap. This particular pastor, this is his church in Canarsie, Brooklyn. We're talking about the building that is in the middle of the screen. That is the pastor's church building, right? That's the location. That is a pic of that. This is an aerial view. That small ghetto box church that he called church. That's where the gunmen were able to run up into to pretty much rob the pastor only. Notice they didn't rob the congregants in that church. They only robbed the pastor and his wife. How convenient, right? Notice that when people come in to rob, everybody's supposed to get robbed. Everybody. But see, the insurance allegedly was only for the jewelry. That's how you put the puzzle together. So to the insurance companies and the feds and everybody else involved, put the puzzle together. It's pretty easy. When people come into a church to rob, they're robbing everybody. Everybody gets robbed, not just the pastor and his wife. Everybody. You know what I mean? Not only that, they would want the keys to your automobile. See, here's another thing in case the feds is watching and the insurance company. If the criminals target him because of his jewelry, they would also know that he's riding around a Rolls Royce. They would tell him, give me the keys to take the car. It's said that the criminals had a white Mercedes Benz. I saw the clip with the Mercedes Benz with them outside. Well, all of this was done in the daytime. Now, these criminals conveniently walked across the street, walked into that place in the daytime. They could have took his car too. Why they didn't take his Rolls Royce? Why? See, this is how you know something ain't right. This is how you know something ain't right. But again, so everybody that's viewing, right, you may not notice, but this is where the pastor lives right there. That's where the good pastor lives. Yeah. The good old pastor. Bishop Bling Bling lives in a $4.4 million mansion estate, which is a very, very luxurious environment, a lot of space, very beautiful location in New Jersey. And this is where he lived. Look at the amount of money and time and work that was put into that residence, right? Look at all of that money that was put into that. But when you think about his church building, he didn't put the same effort into that. You see? That right there is a red flag. Why the house of God look like crap? Why is that? Think about that. The house of God look like crap. The house of God looked like crap, but his place where he rests his head at looked like, man, right out of a movie. You see that? Man, this is crazy, fam. But again, I'll leave it up to you to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So that's what we're going to cover on today. We're going to keep you updated on this particular story. And if you're viewing, right, make sure you check out the first video that I did about this particular story. And also, in case you haven't seen the bishop, oh yeah, I don't know if any of you seen it. The same bishop was on another YouTube platform. I have the video on my channel. I did a review where he was bashing a black woman by body shaming her, calling her out of her name. And he was I guess, insulting and using offensive name calling to another guy that I guess they were doing a review about the circumstances surrounding the alleged robbery. And he didn't like that. So he came on the live stream and pretty much went off, was very angry, frustrated. And yeah, he really went off on these people. So you may want to check out that video too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pretty much link all of these videos together so that everybody that's viewing, you can pretty much find them pinned in the comment sections. I'm going to pretty much do that. That way viewers are able to find everything. So yeah, so that's the story for this morning, fam. I appreciate everybody coming through. It is what it is. We have 193 in the building. So that's all we're going to say for the morning. You know, everybody have a blessed day. You know what I'm saying? Be safe out there. We're going to be back with more shows. I have a lot of content coming up, fam. And I appreciate everybody that supported the first video that I did on the story. I appreciate everybody that, you know, is supporting that particular video. That video is doing pretty well. Yeah, that's all we have for you today on this. We'll be covering more if we get any more information about this pastor, if I find any more information, because he seems to be on YouTube and there's a lot of people talking about different scams and alleged crimes. And I'm going to have to look into it because he's new to me. I never heard of him until the whole robbery thing took place. So that being said, we're going to sign out. And I'm going to go out with the same song that I put in from the intro of the song, of the beginning of the video. So if you're now joining the stream, you get to hear it. So that being said, fam, I appreciate everybody joining the stream. If you support it via Cash App or anything, I'll shout you out in the next stream and whatnot. But everybody have a blessed day, fam. It's Black Male Advice TV. You already don't know what it is, fam. It is what it is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Black male.
money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Money, power, money in my pocket.
Yeah. Get those likes up, fam.
Lights on now.
Let's go.
Yeah. Money, making money. Niggas be looking at me. Rolling on the block, man, I'm getting paper. Rolling. Looking at me, I'm looking so fly. All of these niggas, they looking at me, man, wishing to die. Chilling in my car, man, I'm getting paper. All of these bitches out here, man, they want this nigga. Rolling. Niggas be holding out. Don't wanna give a nigga his flowers. I'm a boss. See me flexing on the road. Window down, top down. Shades on, blinged out, ringed out. Designer on, nigga looking fly. How could you hate on a nigga that be doing well? Mad niggas, they up in jail. Niggas mad because I'm doing well. Whole time and I'm smelling good. Niggas out here up in the hood. All day I'm popping. Bodies, they dropping. BK, I'm rapping. Niggas out here half stepping. Niggas talking, they bitching up. Online, they trolling. Lights on, drip where people stare. Everywhere. Yeah, I'm rolling in
Get
the
those
top,
likes up, fam.
Chilling in the drop. Making money, man, I'm doing this non-stop.
Black Male Advice TV.
Hot, and I'm top now. BK, I'm reppin'. Niggas out here half stepping. Speeding through the night. Yeah, window fly. Roll the window down. Make the music play.
Yeah, let it play. Get those likes up, fam. Black Male Advice TV.
Rolling through the hood with the top down. Making money, making that sound pop. Oh, where the ladies at? Where the ladies
Where
at?
they at?
Where the ladies at? Where all the ladies at? Going up and I be flipping in. Came out and I be ripping in. Ripping down that top down. Rolling with my windows down. Spinning rims. Rolling out. Lights on. Money here. Looking fly. Dressing up.
Fam.
Shades on. Looking good. Rolling.
We out, fam. Peace. Black Male Advice TV. We out of here. Let's go.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $RingoTV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/RingoTVRaw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at RingoTVRaw.
This is Black Male Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.